Hello everyone, I'm here with a new video today, and this one is just sort of a catch up. Where are we? Since we are now halfway through the year. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is June. So we're halfway through this year, and I figured I would just kind of catch up and say, here's where things stand with what I've got in the works right now, plus what I have coming yet still for the trips I've already done but I haven't started, and the upcoming trips that I have in a couple months. So as you know, when this is coming out, I am working on my Cincy album, and it's a very full one. It is nearly done. The videos won't all be out yet. I have them sort of planned out date-wise. So that is still yet to come. You'll get to see it all, but it's not completely, finished and posted yet, but that is in the works. This is the album I'm using. It's a 6x8. I had so much stuff from that trip. I had to do a 6x8. And this was also the one where I included some of these like cardstock dividers, which I normally don't do. And you can kind of see, look, they're bent already because this sucker is so full. So it's always a lesson in, hey, learn how to pare down, because otherwise I just try to stuff so much in an album, and every time I hope I'll learn and get better, but I still tend to have really thick albums. When I'm going in chronological order, the next one I have done or have to do is St. Louis. And as you can see, I have not done a lot on this. I have things dropped in, but I haven't really just had a lot of time to get to it, honestly. Work has been crazy because for anyone who doesn't know, I technically work 3 jobs. I have my regular day job. I work in hospice, and then I teach for 2 other universities because I have a PhD. So I teach as well, and life has just been crazy. And so I have not had the time to scrap lately that I would really like to have. So it's been tough. So slow but steady, wins the race. So I am working on it. I just haven't gotten very far yet. But this one, as you can see, is also a 6x8. I do plan to include quite a bit of memorabilia here because we did lots of things when we were in St. Louis that ended up having maps and tickets and brochures, things like that. So you will see that as part of this album. And then we move on to this one, which is San Diego. This is my last album for 2023. That was the last trip that I took of the year. And for this one, I'm using an album I've never used before. This is from Freckled Fawn. It is similar in size to the Citrus Twist Life Crafted albums. So if you enjoy those, like the size, this is very, very similar. And really, I think, what have I done? Maybe 3 pages here. Not a whole heck of a lot. So I have the same situation happening here where I've got some photos dropped in and some memorabilia, and that's kind of it because I just haven't had the time to get to it. But I'm hoping in these summer months that things maybe calm down a little bit and that I'm able to work on it more. So starting off for 2024, my first trip of the year was to Seattle. I went with my daughter, and we were there right at the end of January and beginning of February. And I have selected this album. I love the color of it. I feel like it'll work well for the photos I have. But this is a Life Crafted album from Citrus Twist. Same thing here. You can see I've dropped in like some photos and things of where I think I want them to go. And then I also have done a couple, not a lot, but a couple of Canva layouts that I decided to intermix in here because they're so easy for me to do. They're so much faster than regular scrapping for me. So I like having the option that I can do a quick layout in Canva, have it printed, and then embellish with whatever I want once it gets to me. So I am including some of those here. So after Seattle, my next trip was to New York in March, and I actually went to New York and Providence. So if you haven't seen those travel vlogs that I've done, go back and watch those. Get ready for me to start these albums. I think I'm going to just do one. I should be able to combine New York and Providence together, but I can't decide which album I want to use. In Providence, it was actually quite green already, and so I was thinking maybe this one. But then New York honestly was kind of gray. Like there wasn't a lot of sunshine happening when I was there. There was a lot of overcast days, which is totally fine. But I feel like this color, this is the cambray, I think. Yeah, it's not just a true gray. But I feel like that color would work. I mean, look, I even have some of the photos printed already. That matches pretty well. So I'm just not sure, but I'll know when I get closer. when I really sort through the photos again, look at them, feel like what color matches the best, then I'll pick one. But these are both life crafted albums that I have at the ready for whatever I decide most fits New York. Next in line chronologically is Oklahoma City, which I went to in April of 2024, this year. And I've already done more work on this than some of the other ones, and it's simply because I'm choosing to do this one in Canva. It's still a life crafted album, so it's either 3x8, 4x8 layouts. But this was a smaller trip. It was really just like a weekend, and I didn't take a huge amount of photos, so I thought, oh, okay, maybe this is a good one where I can go back and do another Canva album. So I've decided to do that, and I have all of them printed already. Look at this, they're in there, and I have my ephemera and memorabilia stuff that I want. So really all this is inserting the memorabilia I want to use, and then embellishing. So this might be one where I just decide one of these weekends, like, hey, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to finish this entire thing in a weekend. So if you would be interested in seeing that, like how quickly I can get it done in a weekend and just sort of back-to-back videos of that happening, let me know, because this one I just feel like I could kind of skip ahead and get this done a lot faster than some of my other ones. Next up is the biggie for 2024, Canada. I spent a full week, actually 8 days in Canada in May, and it was sort of my 50th birthday present to myself. And I bought 2 of these 6x12 albums from Rita Rita. It's a company that is out of Spain. I bought them before the shipping went nuts, so I've had these for a while. I used the other one for my 2022 trip to Europe, and I just had this one sitting there. Not really sure what I was going to use it for. I've decided it probably will have to be Canada, because 8 days, so many pictures, like over 1,000 pictures. Obviously, I'm not going to scrap all those, but that's how many I took. So I need a big album, so I think it's going to be pretty much the only 6x12 I do this year. So in between that album and what's happening next, I actually want to talk quickly about a little something different I think I'm going to do this year. I did a train travels album for 2023, and I thought I was going to do another one this year. I've since changed my mind. What I think I'm going to do is do a book or an album that is all Chicago, because I am going to be there 3 times for sure, maybe more. I've already gone in April. I will be back this month at the end of June, and then I'm going again in October. So, and there could be others in between. I'm there a lot. So I think I'm going to make one album that's all Chicago. So, but I haven't started it. I've printed some of the pictures from April, but I haven't done anything with it. I think it might go in here. So that would be kind of nice, just have one album that's all Chicago for an entire year. I don't think I need to make 3 separate albums for that. I'm there so much. It would kind of be ridiculous to have that many, that are stocked up over the years. So I think I'm going to go with this 6x8 from scrapbook.com. You can see it's one of theirs. I haven't used theirs a whole lot. I think maybe one, but it's very similar to the Simple Stories, and I love this color. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that. And then I also just went to Denver at the end of May into first part of June here for work, because I go to graduation for one of the universities I teach for. So I was in my full academic regalia and all of that. And I thought, well, that might be fun to scrap, even though I don't have a ton of photos. I did a couple other things when I was there, but I think I'm going to put that in my Oklahoma City album. I think those are going to go together because I can keep it relatively small that way. And I'm all about that right now. All right, I've pulled this out because I just said I'm in Chicago a lot, which I am. So I always have stuff for that. I'm also in New York a lot. And I will be going twice this year. I'm going to go back in November. I already have my tickets and my hotel booked and all that. So there will be 2 New York albums this year. And my question is, do you want to see both of those? I'm definitely going to scrap both of them. But do you want to see both of them? In all likelihood, the one that's in the second half of the year will also probably life crafted album. It'll be that size, I'm sure. I don't need a bigger album than that, really. But do you care enough to see that scrap so many times? I love New York, so I love working on it, but that doesn't mean that everybody needs to see it. So let me know what you think about that. And here we are at my last anticipated trip of 2024. I could always maybe squeeze more in, but for right now, my last one is scheduled for mid-December, and I am going to fly to LA have a couple hours there. So it'll be stuff that I can see that's right around the train station, because I will go from the airport to the train station, and then I'm taking the train from LA to Albuquerque. And I will go explore Albuquerque and Santa Fe, so very desert Southwest landscape. I'm thinking this album. I would love to be able to keep it to a Life Crafted size. It'll be about 4.5 days in total. So I think it could fit in here, because the first part of it, like all the train stuff, I don't need a ton of photos from that. But the rest of the stuff, I definitely will take a lot. I think I could fit it in here. And so I know it's going to be kind of deserty, and I thought this might be a good look for that. But I definitely plan to scrap it, because I feel like that's a very different landscape. And I grew up in the Southwest. I grew up in Southern Colorado. So I'm used to that landscape, but it's not something I get to scrap a lot. So I'm really excited about doing that. So I will definitely have that on the channel. I think that's kind of it. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of trips. I actually don't have anything scheduled for July, August, and September, which is odd. But that is because I'm having surgery in July. So I'm going to be out for like 3 weeks. I mean, I can be up and moving, but like I can't travel. I can't be doing a bunch of stuff. So right now I really don't have any summer travel. Once I hit Chicago at the end of the month, that's kind of it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might squeeze one in there if I'm feeling good. But otherwise, this is the outlook until the end of the year. I'm also going to, in the description area below, print out all of the trips that are on the docket. And then I would love it if you commented, like, what are you most excited to see? Which one are you looking forward to? Let me know your thoughts on it. If you think the sizes are appropriate, or if I might want to consider something else, I am open to all suggestions. So I look forward to seeing your comments. Thanks for watching.